it looks like I'm okay. I'm just having a problem with one of them. Hello, darlings. Should be nice and bright. I've got. Ooh. Okay, hold on. I'm getting myself organized. Hello, 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 hello. I'm getting used to this StreamYard. Yes. Oh, there I am. Aren't I cute? Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, each and every one. Oh my goodness. You know, sometimes you have a news dump at the end of the week. You guys notice that? Hi, Valerie. Good to see you. Valerie, Alex Katsanos, and Valerie. Yeah, I always come on Thursdays. Yada da. There's 28 of us. Oh my goodness, people of the world, unite. We have nothing to fear but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Yes, hello, Desiree Robato. I am having so much fun. I feel like there's, were we just all depressed? Did you feel like you just, look, I think that a lot of you were upset. And I think a lot of you are starting to feel better. Just knowing that this nightmare is going to collapse, I think brings us all great comfort. I don't know. I'm wanting to go to X right now and see if Elon has done anything else. How much you want to bet that Elon Musk has pictures that he's got pictures from Epstein? What do you think? Yeah. Let me see what my notifications say. It's always fun. I'm not. Oh, here it is. Let's see. Elon Musk. What is he up to? If you want to understand him, go to Grok. That's what he says. Oh my God, he's got other people involved now, which is kind of. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? Yes, I would say yes, Elon. That is what we need to do. So I voted yes. Yes. So we've got civil war. Oh, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh. Oh. Have you guys seen this? Elon is posting Epstein stuff. And I just had a nap. I didn't know what was going on. What do I know? I took a 1 hour nap, and I slept through all this.
The resort as a club shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings on your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade.
What do you guys think? This was posted by Elon today. Okay, so let's talk. Welcome, everyone. My name is Whimsy. This is the hot topics. Grab a beer. Grab a tequila. I don't know. Grab whatever floats your floats your boat. I'm trying to get a good. No, you got to see this. You got to see this. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. So Elon just posted this. When did he post this? Was this 45 minutes ago? Okay, so listen, folks. Here is oh, Epstein looks terrible there. My question to you. This is what I've been thinking. I've been thinking to myself. I've been thinking self, we got to talk. Elon Musk knew that Donald Trump was an associate of Epstein's for a very long time, right? Elon Musk knew that there were accusations against Trump for a very long time. And yet, he still chose to put money into his campaign, and he still chose to endorse him, knowing full well that there were accusations that he had been an associate of Epstein's and that he had been accused of rape, multiple accusations of rape, including by a 12-year-old child. So this is news to Elon Musk that Donald Trump is a predator. This is news. Who here is just now finding out that Donald Trump is a sexual predator? And by the way, you don't get well if you're a sexual predator. Sexual predators don't get well. You're a sexual predator. It's a disease like an addiction to heroin or anything else. It's not something you get cured from, right? That's why they have a high retrition rate, right? That's why so many wind up back in recidivism. Is that what they call it? Where they wind up right back in prison. Sex offenders. Therapy doesn't help, group therapy, all that other stuff, because it has probably the same success as Alcoholics Anonymous when you send these guys to these 12 steps that have a sex addiction, because maybe 14% success rate, because they can't, because they become too disabled or something like that. So, the idea that Elon just posted this. Elon just posted it on X. He posted it about 45 minutes ago. Let's see what else he posted here.
Decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot."
What do you think's going on? Do you think that Elon can do serious damage? The Whims Rat Pack. Thank you. I like that. Though I think we're more a kitty pack. Kitty cats. Speaking of which, where's my baby? Has she gone to sleep somewhere? Picking victims. That's right. Picking victims because he has Trump modeling agency. And Epstein and him and Trump modeling agency really was a front for what? Escorts and human trafficking, right? So it was kind of blurring. If you're a model, I used to be a model. I know it's hard to believe, but we used to get warned, professional models, about certain agencies, never apply there, never go into a guy's hotel, always meet in a public place. You have certain guidelines. If you're a professional model and you always want it to be professional, you're just there to work, right? So these were the kinds of creepy agencies. You have them all over. You have them in Italy and Europe, where they were really just fronts for prostitution and human trafficking. And so women, if you were a model, you had to be really, really careful, particularly if you were being brought in from another country to a place like Italy or somewhere else, because you could find yourself in a really dangerous situation. And so what it almost looks like is that they're picking people. And I think these girls thought that they were auditioning for a TV show with NBC. And I think that that's why they're flirting, is because they want to be pick me for the show. You know, they think it's going to be something like Dances with the Stars or Soul Train, right? People used to audition for Soul Train, and you'd get up and you'd start dancing down the train. And they said, that one looks good, right? And then you got to get to be on TV, get to be a dancer. So I think what was going on from the female's perspective is that they thought they were like auditioning for a dance video or something like that. And they're being friendly with the boss. They don't know that this is the meat grinder of Epstein and Trump, and that they're discussing human trafficking, and they're shipping them up along the East Coast, all the way from Florida to New York, via the mob, the Russian mob, this mob and that mob. You know? Do you think people are, who, you know, is this, what kind of a rift is this going to be? That's the other question. What kind of rift is this going to be? Let's see the rest of this.
And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president said...
Okay, so that was courtesy of Mr. Musk posting that. He posted that in his X account. Yeah, he's been posting a lot of stuff, but is anybody else on X looking at this stuff? But that's the latest. And so far, he's taking a poll who wants to have, you know, a political party for the middle, no extreme. Well, you know, I'm middle left, so I'll take that. And then, oh, he posted, it was 3 hours ago that he posted the Epstein footage. Yeah, so he is starting to attack him. Here's something else too that looks kind of interesting. When's this? Oh. Okay, hold on a second. Is this could be something that he posted. Let's take a look at this. Here's another thing we have coming in from Elon. You know, breaking up is hard to do. That's all I got to do. I got to say is breaking up is hard to do. 3 hours ago. Let's see what else was posted.
There was a story that I read about him that really affected me, which was when he was talking to Bill Gates. And Bill Gates had just taken out some huge short on Tesla, like $1 billion short or something. And, you know, and Elon was like, why would you do that? Why would you short Tesla? And Bill goes, well, you know, I talked to my financial advisors and I looked at the math and there's no way it's overvalued and so I'm going to make money on the short. And Elon goes, what do you care about making money? I thought you were into electric cars and climate change and saving the world. What are you doing, like trying to save a few bucks and betting against? Like, and he just walked away in disgust. And I think he never talked to Bill Gates after that. And that's when I realized, like, Elon's a purist. You know, he means what he says. Like, the money is a tool for him to get what he's trying to do. And
that's actually true. That is actually true. That's something that's been noted about people with Asperger's, autistic. They often don't have an understanding of money, the finances of autism. It's an interesting thing to study. Sometimes, depending, like in the case of Raymond and Raymond, the movie Rain Man. He could do these incredible sums, but he had no concept of what a car cost. He thought it cost 50 cents for a car. So because he had, but what you'll see with Elon Musk, it's very true. It's I'm a child who wants to go to Mars. How do I get to Mars? So the focus for him is to get to Mars. The focus is not the money. The money is just I need some money to get to Mars. So it's interesting that that's true, actually.
So I take him at face value, which is the crazy thing, because there are a lot of people who set these audacious goals to inspire people, but you kind of know they don't really mean it. Elon, I take at face value. So I really do think he intends to get to Mars. I don't think he's joking about that. And I think he means to get there within a defined window of time. And I don't think it's just like an inspirational faraway goal. I think he's very, very concretely going to do whatever it takes. Because Elon doesn't want to go down in history as the electric car guy, or even the guy who saved America guy.
Yeah.
He wants to go down as a guy who got humanity to the stars.
Yeah.
And I don't think, again, I'll give him more credit than that. I don't even think he wants to go down as the I got humanity to the stars guy. He's just like, I want to get to the stars. And so I have to make it happen in this lifetime. The only way that I get to experience the science fiction world in my head is if I get to the stars. And so that's so inspirational. I think that drives everything. So I think the government was just a thing that got in his way.
You guys want to talk about it? That's pretty funny. I think that that's a very insightful, actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and telepathic. Yeah, Elon is very psychic, and he's done psychic experiments as well. He has done that. Yep. He is a psychic boy. So, yeah, Elon has done that. He's experimented with astral travel because he travels long distances, and that's something that ship's captains used to do when they would be away from their wives for long periods of times. They would travel to them. It's a very romantic idea. He before he was a drug addict, he used to be a romantic guy, and yeah. He had a romantic side to him, but unfortunately he's gone crazy. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Yes. So let's see what you're all saying. Hello. Good to see you. Hi, Desiree. Hi, Terry. Hi, Laura. The Sharp Review. Hello. Don Daniels. Hello. Lori Pinnell. Hi, Canada. Hi, Rainey Horvat. No doubt Trump did get Epstein's plane. He got into his plane, yeah. Kathleen O'Malley. Hello, community. Yes. Stephen Miller reportedly was seen crying on the White House steps. Oh, reminds me of my ex-husband when my ex-husband was crying. He was crying because, yes, nobody was giving him money anymore. That's right. You're going to have to pay your own rent. It happens. I can't afford a one-bedroom. Then why did you invite me here? Yes, exactly. So the point is that people like Stephen Miller, who are complete control freaks, and then when the person leaves because they're tired of being controlled by a creep, then the person cries and claims they're a victim. But Stephen Miller did this to himself. Stephen Miller is getting a divorce because Stephen Miller did not treat his wife well, because Stephen Miller was a control freak, and because he put her in a kind of jail from what it looked like in the remote, and also he was controlling her money and also putting her on a budget that was poverty. It was a poverty budget, like 5 grains of rice a day. That's what it looked like. And so the control and the fact that she wasn't allowed to control her own money, she got up and screw this, and she left and took a job with Musk. And it's like, what do you expect? You act like, these are the guys that attacked the Taliban, and you're the Taliban. You're an American version of the Taliban. All these guys that are controlling all these. Well, that was the thing also when they did a study of MAGA, they found a lot of old, insecure guys. That MAGA attracted a lot of guys who couldn't get girls, that were mad they were mad about everything, but mostly they were mad about the fact that they couldn't get a girl. That was the one thing they were pissed off. And maybe the migrants are taking the girls, right? That's in Mein Kampf. That's what Adolf Hitler said, right? The migrants, the Jews are coming and taking our women, right? This fear of the migrant, this fear that the other is going to come and taint our white race, right? That kind of crazy. From these insecure men that can't get a date. And instead of admitting you can't get a date because you're a jerk and a loser, no, you've got to blame somebody else. You've got to blame immigrants or the government so Musk and his friends attract a certain type of people, the poor oppressed white man. Yes, the angry oppressed white man who's often, even the younger version, like they say, the people that supported Elon Musk and Trump, they were after money, but you wouldn't call the young generation that supported Musk woke. You definitely wouldn't call them woke. That's not what they are. They are viewing the world as what they believe is steely-eyed realist, and they believe the world is run by money, and they're going to go out and get their money. Rainey Horvat says that she has been waiting for this day for a long time. Thanks for sharing. Gets back to the remotes from a couple of years ago when we talked about the fact that Mitch McConnell has to cut the head off the beast. The destiny fell on Mitch McConnell. So what happened when the destiny fell on Mitch McConnell that you must cut the head off this beast? What happens? He didn't do it, right? He did not cut the head off the beast. And so what happened as a result? The beast did a lot of damage. So now we're right back where we started from. And the question is, my frightened Sir Lancelot, he's like a frightened Sir Lancelot. Is Mitch McConnell now have the courage to do what he couldn't do before? Because, as Elon Musk has said, and now he's said it publicly, now he's talking publicly. Today he talked about it publicly. We're going to go with Vance, JD Vance, right? But what he said in remotes previously, like earlier today we did a remote, is he said there's no way I would have put money into this campaign if I did not have a plan B. Because this guy's fruitcakes, right? So they always had a plan B, and the plan B was JD Vance. The question is, are they going to implement plan B? And I think that they are. And it goes, and here, it's like reincarnation. If you don't fix it the first time, if you don't fix it your first incarnation, then what happens? You got to come back and do it again. And so here we are fixing the mess that the Republicans didn't fix the first time around. What do you guys think about that? Kathleen O'Malley is bringing up a really good point, and that is that it gives permission for other people to come forward. So if Elon Musk is running a campaign to show that Donald Trump is a perpetrator, a predator, then he could theoretically start exposing people the way that people exposed Juanita Broderick in the Clinton case, for example. Right? So it would be interesting to see if victims start coming forward. And Kathleen O'Malley has a very good point. Have we done the Impasse prayer yet? We haven't, right? Let's go ahead. We'll do the Impasse prayer. If anyone needs a healing, we can also send you a healing. I don't think we've done the Impasse prayer, have we? Have we? No, we've just been talking. So let's go in. We'll do the Impasse prayer. We will blitz away. We can go ahead and take a look at these questions, and let's see what happens. No, I don't think we did the Impasse prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen. And for those of you who are requesting a healing at this time, both for you and for those you love, we pray that you receive a healing in mind, body, and spirit. And together again, as a community, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. May all souls be healed. All right, so the first question, and I think it's an interesting one. Now that the cat's out of the bag, will we start to see more women feeling safe enough to come forward? Or will more people start coming out against Trump, and is more dirt going to start coming out about his relationship with Epstein? Let's take a look. First card is Nine of Swords. I think that Elon Musk is very upset. I think he is very, very upset. Whatever happened where people were beating each other up or whatever, I have no idea what the heck that was. I have no idea. But what I can tell you, move that out of the way so you can see this better. Based on what it looks like here, I'll pull this back a little bit so you can see. I would say if Elon Musk got into a fight with somebody, or I don't know what happened, but this guy is really upset. This guy is really upset, and it almost looks strung out to me. I almost feel strung out as Elon Musk. I feel my sleep is a mess. I'm a mess. He's in bad shape, Elon Musk, right now. Which also means that he's unpredictable right now because his emotions are all over the place. His opposition, yeah, the family, the unit, the community. You know, he's also on the outs with his own family. So what's pushing Elon's buttons looks to be the fact that he's been excluded. You know, he's been excluded from the family. So for Elon, it feels like he's been pushed out of the party, being the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is like the happy family, but he is not part of it, Elon Musk. He got kicked out of the party, literally. The party and the party. Strife happening very, very quickly. He's not going to stay a victim for long. On the other hand, Elon Musk is going to throw himself aggressively into saving his businesses. Thing is that he's got to get clean and sober first. It's very, it looks like a shunning. You can see the family gathering and he is alone. So, well, the 8th house is your conflict or opposition. It's the house of the other that you're having conflict with. Often the person we're having conflict with is the person we have, the most. 9 times out of 10, when somebody comes to get a reading with me about their love life, the conflict, the guy that they're in love with will wind up in the 8th house because that's the person that they have conflict with. It's whoever the reading is about. If you want to know about that person or the opposition, the opinion of the opposition, it's always the 8th house, right? So in this case, his opposition would be the Republican Party, but they look unified in the 10 of Cups, right? So they don't see a rift at this time. They're still he's been pushed out. The hope and the fear, this rapid change that happens with 8 of Wands, but it can be strife. And you can see the Chariot, which could indicate that either one, he's moving on to save his own company, but he's got some movement here. In the next 30 days, we'll see some successful movement in terms of his career. Ace of Wands moving into 7th position. It's an entrepreneur's card. It's a 30-day time period. It is a wand, so we do read time with wands because what we just do. I won't go into that. But the point is that a wand for me is read as a 30-day period. It's also associated with entrepreneurship. And it would indicate that he's aggressively moving with that chariot energy over the next 30 days towards just focusing on his business and on his career. His opposition, the happy Republican family, is becoming austere. So this bill will not pass. There's nothing in the cards that I have told. Remember, I told you the bill will not pass. It may be passed a preliminary in the House, but you can see austerity moving into 8th position with a 4th of Pentacles. Tells me that there are real problems with this bill. It's continuing strife around the world. That could be war, mischief, mayhem, chaos. There's always chaos, right? And the final outcome for this happy group of people is, well, we wonder, are they happy? New trade routes, new partnerships. Discuss. He's strengthening. I would predict from this that Elon is going to focus on his international partnerships with the Two of Wands moving it. Excuse me. And World card. But America doesn't have the money to pass this bill, and that's what Musk is saying. And he's actually right. The Democrats agree with him. Which is why we didn't sign the bill. Also, we don't know what the hell is in the bill. But this austerity would indicate that the bill is not going to pass. Buying an impeachment is what Real Rosie calls it. It's possible. You could say that, yeah. New international partnerships. So I think from Elon Musk's perspective, this is not the only game in town. You know what I mean? Trump is not the only game in town from his perspective. You know, it looks like international contract. He's going to go save his business. Well, it's like Terry Court said, they did this because they had a plan B, and the plan B was always to get Vance in. I looked earlier today, and it looked to me like Trump could be out within 6 months. I also felt a woman could be picked as Vance's VP, maybe Elise Stefanik or somebody else that's a female darling. I think that Nikki Haley would be the appropriate pick. You know, if you're looking for who the Republicans would like or tolerate. But I would be surprised if Vance picked a male VP. I think he's going to be pressured to pick a female VP. And I think there's going to be conversations with him about you've got to pick a female VP. So then we have to figure out, well, who is she going to be? Because they're thinking about the 2026 and the 2028. And if they don't appeal to the ladies, so they've got to pick a female. The pressure is on the Republicans to pick a female. No question about it. They're not going to put two guys in there. If they do, they know they're not going to stand a chance to get reelection. So it would have to be somebody that the Republican Party is comfortable with and familiar with. which is why I thought Elise Stefani. But I don't know. Is everybody on board with her? I don't know. Who's a female politician that's associated with Vance that's popular? No, Vance has no reason to be impeached. He has no power and he hasn't done anything. He would have to be the president first and screw up before he could be impeached. So no, I don't anticipate him being impeached. Let's see how he does as the president. But yeah, I'm almost 100% sure that he will have a female VP. Let's look at the future of Vance as president, because it's looking like he's going to be president probably within 6 months. Well, Mitch McConnell, he was supposed to get rid of him the first time. Now we're right here back again. So Mitch McConnell will have to fulfill his karma. And that's his karma. He cannot escape it. I told you I was good. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that is it. Yeah, that is what you see with Mitch McConnell. He is Sir Lancelot, the frightened knight, who is unfortunately been called to cut the head off the beast. And if Mitch McConnell doesn't go along with this, it's going to be very difficult to pull it off. But you also have to realize that Mitch McConnell has nothing to lose because he's not going back to the Senate. So this might be the right time for him to do what he has to do, which is to publicly revoke, shame, and call on the articles of impeachment. All right, Vance. We can't escape our karma, so we might as well just deal with it. Vance is probably going to be the president, but he's the magician. Mm-hmm. His opposition, that's a tough one. Who is Vance's opposition? Queen of Swords. Might be having problems with the courts. He might be having problems. I don't know. It's like he's a figurehead, more so than Trump. He could be reelected if he runs a good campaign, Six of Swords. This guy didn't even want to be VP. It's like this guy went in kicking and screaming. I don't know why he's even a politician. He doesn't, give him his mascara and his eyeliner and let him be a beautiful Bali dancer. Isn't one of his kids a Bali dancer? Does Bali dancing, one of his male kids? His kids do like Bali dancing. He's got like that Six of Swords moving in, so that's a 6-year period of smooth water. He's having some problems, some challenges in terms of the courts. A heavy load lay ahead for him. His opposition is heartbroken. I know what this is. It could be the Supreme Court. Oh, it's him. He's going to have to pick Thomas's replacement, probably. Alito also, if Alito steps down, right? And Sotomayor, they say, might step down. So we have the potential of him putting in 2 to 3 Supreme Court seats in the next 6 months. Yeah. He does very well on the international stage. He improves trade and he improves trade routes. And so the economy is very much improved with Vance because you see those smooth waters with that trade. And that was the main reason they brought him in, was to smooth out trade. It's a lot of work. The big heartbreak over the court, the Queen of Swords stands for truth, could be that we lose. If Thomas resigns, then it's just replacing another conservative. But if Sotomayor steps down, then we're really doing badly in the courts. But I'm feeling like he could put in as many as 2-3 seats. Yeah. So did he want to be president? Probably not. He basically had to put himself in that situation for various reasons. It was kind of like he was pressured. And so it looks like, yeah, Vance is probably going to be the president. I'm really curious about who this woman is that's around him. I see as president with a woman next to him. Let's try and find out who the female VP is. Maybe a congresswoman, you think? There's Vance. He's the King of Pentacles. That's his card, yeah. The Constitution is his opposition. So there's only so many things he's going to be able to do. In a question of the politics, a political question, the higher ethos in the United States is the Constitution. So the best symbol for that is the Hierophant, which is the higher ethos or the higher power. So there's no higher power in the United States than the Constitution. It's the law of the land. But what's fascinating to me is that it stands as his opposition. So he will be limited in what he can get away with. We will be protected from any kind of extreme crazy by the Constitution. That's interesting. And the fact that it's the opposition of Vance tells me that we probably don't have to be that afraid of this guy. The hopes and the fear. Success, what does success for Vance look like for the rest of us? So it might be good for him, but does that mean it's going to be good for us? Oh, Trump said he's going to deport Elon. Oh, well, that would be nice. Happy family, 10 of Cups. Who's the woman? Who's this woman? There's somebody joining him, a female. I keep seeing this. Who? He does not want to be president. Oh my God, he got himself in a situation. He reminds me of Buttigieg. Buttigieg is like, please don't pick me. Please, don't pick me. I mean, like, I couldn't believe it when I went into Buttigieg. I didn't expect that at all. When I went into trance and I tried to make contact with Buttigieg as a remote viewer, and he was like, no, don't pick me, don't pick me. I was like, I thought you wanted to be president. No, I changed my mind. I want to stay married. Like, whoa, okay, that's cool. Took the weapons. The Constitution took the weapons of war away from Vance. These cards are. You guys don't need me. You guys don't need me to read these cards. You can read your own cards. Do you really need me? No. Take a look. Vance, his opposition, the Constitution, his hope and fear that he'll have a successful campaign, a 10 of Cups, a happy marriage. Maybe he reaches across the aisle and he picks somebody who is more a moderate Republican. But we've got a happy family here, and I'm feeling a female gender coming in. The other thing is, when we look at a clarification over Vance, the King of Pentacles, he's the money man. He brings in the money for the Republicans. He's in an 8 of Swords. When you ask for clarification on Vance, this guy's in an 8 of Swords, which means he's overextended and he's trapped. He could be trapped legally or financially. Maybe he had debt. I don't know what happened to this guy, but this guy wound up trapped. And then when you look at his opposition being the Constitution and the powers of the Constitution take the weapons of war away from our enemies. So the Constitution's in power and he's restrained. So he is restrained by the Constitution. And then the hope and fear of his victory. I like that. Economic and financial stability. This guy has really low self-esteem. I'm always feeling self-esteem issues coming up. I feel also that I'm transgender, that there's this transgender aspect, which I think would cause extreme insecurity if you grew up in Appalachia, transgender, and you weren't able to be your authentic self. And maybe that's part of why he's trapped in this situation. He's got all these secrets, right? The final outcome for Vance. The world will work itself out. I think he's going to pick a moderate Republican female VP. I think that the focus is going to be trade. I think that the Constitution and the law of the land will dramatically curb or control or restrict what he can do. I think his job will be to stabilize the country and to improve trade and the supply chain problems, which is a bipartisan issue. And it has to do with the fact that there's war all over the world, and the wars are causing supply chain issues. So I like the fact that the Ten of Cups in the world is coming out. It means that we're going to see peace soon, and that the trade routes are going to open up. But I'm not concerned at all about Vance after looking at this. You can see very clearly who wins. The weapons of war are taken away by the people who uphold the Constitution. It's very clear here. And he remains restrained and contained. These are very easy cards to read. He wants confidence in the garden. This guy has low self-esteem. Interesting that this is a transgender symbol. It's the pregnant female, but the symbol on this is actually the male. It's a male symbol, not the female symbol, which is kind of interesting. So there's a transgender aspect to this card, which I think is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's neither male or female, the Nine of Pentacles. I used to think that it was this confident, pregnant female, and then somebody pointed out that it's the Mars symbol. So this is actually a kind of a transgender kind of female male. Also the peacock. It has to do with wealth and abundance. We think of these as symbols of wealth. It's not a peacock. It's a hooded falcon. It's a hooded falcon. And the falcon was sent to get your wealth, or the falcon was sent to get things. So, yeah, I just think that trade is going to, I just see the economy is going to start busting. June is busting out all over. I just see this explosion of the economy every time I go forward into the future. And I'm never worried about the future of the ecosystem, because new technology, we phase out dirtier forms of transportation and we replace them with clean energy. And so the earth heals simply because we've moved on to more technically advanced ways of harnessing energy. And that's ultimately what saves the world. We are putting nets up. One of the things that I saw is that they will be putting drone nets. Drones can put nets high up, and they can basically screen how much sun comes through. And it partially takes care of the problem of overheating the planet, but we still have to remove the CO2 and other things that are challenging us. But I would say that that's going to happen relatively soon. Within about 2.5 years, we're going to start seeing the satellites going up that dim the sun. It sounds a little spooky, dim the sun. But they're using swarm satellites, and they also have these cool nets that they lay. What a cool concept to have your drones lay out like a black blanket that has little tiny holes where the sun can come through, and it acts as a little shade, and it rotates over. Isn't that cool as hell? Well, you just fold it up and take it away. You know, it's like if you didn't need it. So what happens is that anywhere in the world where they're having extreme heat, the company that produces the drone swarms that lay out these shields can just go. They can go to Ghana, and it's like, and you'll probably feel it. You'll probably be like talking to somebody, and then it'll be 100 degrees. Oh, it's so hot. And then you'll feel it drop to about 80. Like, whoa, did they put the shield up? Oh, I feel better. Or you'll wake up that morning and say, oh, it's kind of cool today. Is the shield up? It will become something that's we won't be able to see it, but we will feel it. We will feel the temperature drop, and it will take a lot of stress off the planet, and it will give the planet time to heal itself. That's what I see. It's not a long-term solution, but it's a wonderful temporary fix. Yeah, the technology already exists. Yeah. There's a couple private companies that are producing them, and Yeah. So a country could hire that company. Like if Ghana is like, our hot season is between December and March. Can you come and work the drones at such and such dates? And then the company would go and work for that particular country. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? We live in amazing times. Yeah. 2.5 years. Well, it has dramatic effect because the winds of Africa, right? So if we cool Africa, then you probably would see a dramatic drop in hurricanes. And then there are talks in the UN that the countries will raise money to pay for poor African countries to put the shields up if they can't afford services. This is not you have countries that are producing them, and then you have private businesses, and you have contracts. So I think it's great. I 100% support it. Yes. Temporarily, it's a temporary fix. Yeah, I mean, there's other problems. Like when I've done a lot of research on this because when I remote viewed it, I saw it. I saw them send, we're having overheating. We'll send a drawer. They'll be there in 4 hours. Like I wound up in a scene, which is something that'll happen to you when you start learning remote viewing. And I started seeing it. And then I would see normal scenes of people in the cafe where it would be hot. And then all of a sudden it would switch and it would be like shade and it'd be 20 degrees low. Oh, did the shield open? And how we just got on with our lives. And we couldn't detect it other than that the temperature was cooler. And we got to be a little spoiled too. As I went further into the dream, it's like, it's too damn hot. Why didn't you put the shield up? And then people complaining, why isn't Washington, D.C. putting the shield up? Well, we had a problem. You're being cheap. Put the shield up. Like, it becomes something that we become overly dependent upon, which in a way that's to be expected. I'm going to Merida and Mexico, and it's 100 degrees with rain every day I'm there because they say the hottest months are May and June in Merida. And I want to go and see it when it's the hottest. They say that is exactly when you should come if you're thinking of moving to Merida. Can I handle this or not? Right? I don't think I can, but it's going to be interesting to see. But that would be a perfect place to put up a shield. You have to be very careful though, because you don't want to mess with the natural ecosystem. If the natural ecosystem is to be hot, so the purpose of the shield is just to return it back to, you don't want to mess with the ecosystem too much. You don't want to turn Africa into drop the temperature in certain areas because desert is also part of the natural ecosystem. You just want to drop it a few degrees just to stop the trend. Well, human beings, we always want a little bit more. So that could happen where you say, well, I want it to be 75 and cloudy every day. But it's not what's best for the planet. So we have to curb our desire to turn it into just turn the knob and instead think about the planet holistically. It's not that kind of a fix. And I think that when people hear about it, they think, great, it's going to be 65 and sunny everywhere, every day. But if you did that, the planet would die because, you need different terrains in order to maintain certain types of life. Like the desert is teeming with life. You don't want to lose all your desert. Yeah, desert animals and desert plants would have been displaced, right? Because they prefer a desert terrain. Isn't that crazy? Just goes to show the diversity of life. You look out at the desert, places like Nevada, and you think, how did Native Americans live out here? There's nothing out here. There's no food. There's nothing. And then you talk to the Native Americans of Nevada and they say, what are you talking about? There's plenty of food. I just see a desert. There's nothing here. And then they show you the plants that they pick that have seeds that are turned into flour and frying cactus and, wild animals and all kinds of things that they were living on, and growing certain types of melons that will grow in the desert. Yeah, so we may look out as gringos and think there's nothing out here. You can't survive out here. And then you come to find out that there's plenty of food. If you grew up in the deserts of Nevada, you would be able to, like an eagle eye, you would be able to see which cacti are edible, which seeds are edible, which melons are edible, which wild melons. There's plenty of food out here. There's wild melons over there. There's wild date. There's some wild prickly pear cactus. We got loads of food out here. We got nuts. We got seeds. We got wild burrowing animals. Yes. Roast ourselves some rat. We're good to go. Desert rat. Yum, yum. Or what? I don't know what the heck we're eating out there. But. Coffee. Oh my God. I cannot live without coffee. Oh, Phoenix had a canal system created by the ancient people. That is beyond cool. Yeah. Well, this is something that's happening in Israel right now, is that we are extending out into the Negev desert. And so the question is, because the desert is blooming again, how do we, the blooming of the Negev desert. So the question is, how much would that, what kind of a toll is that going to have on the ecosystem? Because it's nice to see the blooming of the desert, but we bloom the desert and what happens? What's the problem with the blooming of the desert? New animals will move in, right? So new animals, hey, there's water here, there's beautiful forest. So what happens is that all these animals start to move into the desert. And then what happens to the desert animals? The desert animals have to leave because the water-loving animals are picking them, right? The birds are coming in and they're attacking the snakes and the Negev animals. So the Negev animals have to slither away and go, we want the desert. So what happens is that they get driven out, and then the birds, that's all beautiful. But in wisdom, we have to realize that this project could theoretically be displacing the desert dwellers. And you can see up here would be the area of the desert dwellers. They're being pushed out to here by these new water systems, etc., which are going to start attracting a different type of life form, right? It's a different all desert. And this is what you can do with a little love and attention. Create more space for more people, right? What happens is that now we have, what we're doing in Israel is we are this is near Ben Gurion University. So a lot of these are young Ben Gurion University kids, which is a mixed campus, half Arab, half Jewish. It's very focused on integrating all Israelis. It's also where we're hoping to build some of the Negev peace communities. So it's nice to see that we're creating so much livable space for the students, for the Bedouin people, and for everybody that lives out there. So we're creating oasis zones. That's basically the point. This is where one of the oasis zones will be. We're building more and more kibbutzim out there, which is also kind of nice. And you can see how much space there is to house people. That when you can do this in a desert area, you can create, look at all this land now to include more people. But again, you want to be wise, because you are losing desert when you do that. And that too is something you have to think about, right? Very cool. We are coming up with ways to save ourselves, save the world, help each other. And that's really, human beings don't have to be jerks. We can be wonderful animals that make the world a better place. And that would be nice, right? Yeah, we don't have to be jerks. We can actually be working together to make the world a better place. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Elon wanted to invest in boxables. Before he became a drug addict, he wanted to create oasis zones so that nobody would be without a home. And so he was looking at oasis programs. He liked Oasis One for that reason. That he wanted to do similar programs in San Francisco, etc. And it doesn't surprise me that he got involved in boxables because he wanted everybody to be able to have a place to live. He really got messed up from the person he was even 3-4 years ago. It's scary. I mean, has anybody ever tried ketamine? I haven't. But I hear it's just you completely disassociate on ketamine. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Rooftop gardens replace tarmacs and gravel roads. Interesting. Elon Musk is having a midlife crisis. Maybe. Yes. Yeah, it's not nice to be mean and evil. Chuck Todd thinks that this will blow over. Do you think that this will blow over? Because I think that Chuck Todd is very, very wrong. They don't need each other. And I think that Elon Musk is no longer going to be supporting the Republican Party because too much stuff has happened. He has been unceremoniously kicked out of the Republican Party. Let's be clear about that. So they're trying to give him an easy out and say, well, you've got to get back to work. And they're trying to make it look nice, but like they tried to make it look nice with Omarosa. Oh, she's going to do something else. And then she came out, oh no, they threatened me and I got the tapes, right? Remember that when they tried to cover up for Omarosa? But I think that's what happened with Elon. They were trying to cover it up, and Elon doesn't want to cover it up. He wants everybody to know what these people did to him. Oh, that's interesting. They have a roof paint in Phoenix that will lower temperatures. I think that's great. You could probably put like cactus on your roof and they would be happy because, it's like what's going on in the Negev is fantastic, but you also want to honor the life of the desert. It's just so cool. It's just so cool that there's all this life in the desert. I think Kamala Harris is running for governor of California. I think that is what we determined. We did a remote view on her, and I think it came out that let's take a look at Kamala Harris. See if she is going to. Yes, Kamala. See if she is running. I think so. 3 of Cups. She is the wonder kid, she's very much, if somebody else was going to run and then they were asked not to run because Harris is running, that could very well happen because her opposition has chosen not to run. So if somebody else was thinking of running and they said, you probably shouldn't because we're picking Harris. Yeah, the Chariot is the run. It's the race. So she's not 100% with the hope and fear being the race. She's got all this female support, though, with that Three of Cups. You know what I mean? The star is over her. If she runs for governor of California, she will win. Yeah. Yeah, the star is over her. It's an anointing. It's to receive an anointing or a blessing. So I would say that she should definitely run. I don't know. What do you guys think? You can see the cards. You guys read. Most of you guys read cards. How do you feel about the cards? Well, it's not a dictatorship. As much as we want it to be. I know. I read, but many of you read. Maybe you have it, we don't always have to agree, but my interpretation of the cards, I mean, her immediate, this is a blitz, right? So the immediate environment is Three of Cups, which is dancing in the streets, as Linda likes to say. It is a great rejoicing, a celebration. It's also a strong female card. It tends to speak a lot about female power. Her opposition is hanging it up, leads me to think that she may not have anybody strong to go up against in this bid for the governor. Yeah, Katie Porter could decide to go and run for another House seat, because I think they changed up her district or something. They merged districts or something. They were trying to squeeze out the Democrats. So they did something in her district that was weird. But you have the Chariot and then that star coming in. So I interpret it as I'd have a real hard time viewing that as negative, just based on what I know. But let's take a clarification here over her immediate environment. Mastery. So she is definitely doing pre-studies. Like this person is definitely doing an investigation into running. With that Eight of Pentacles in seventh position. That's the master pounding away. So she's researching. This is preliminary stuff. Over the issue of her opposition, powerful contenders are not going to be running. That could be Katie Porter. Yeah. Somebody just very, very powerful has chosen to hang this up. She's very concerned about the state of the world today, and she's very concerned about some kind of a crash, a global crash. She's also very concerned about global warming. It's a world crash. Her fear is that the world is crashing. In plainer words, what I would say about this individual is that she is running and she is very studious and she is working very hard because she truly feels called to help, and she is genuinely worried about the state of things right now. Yeah. Yeah, it's economics. I guess the economics was the main thing she was worried about. Yeah. Oh, I got another Three of Cups from there. Hold on. Love match. I think Katy Perry may step down or choose to run for another seat. That's my theory. Yeah. All right, lovers. All right, my loves and lovers. That is it for today. I hope you had fun. Did you have fun? We hung out for a little over an hour. Are you feeling better now that they're at civil war with each other? I don't know. All right, everybody. We're going to call it a night. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can find the information below. I would love to give you a reading. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. And I will see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're almost at 100K.